Kitty resident granted $650,000 bail following discovery of large cache of firearms and ammunition. Ian Fagundes, 46, a resident of Kitty, Georgetown, was granted bail totaling $650,000 on Monday, following charges related to the possession of firearms, ammunition, and firearm components. Magistrate Fabio Azor issued the bail after considering an appeal made by Fagundes' attorney, Cyan Durjan, who cited medical concerns and delays in trial proceedings. Bail was set at $350,000 for firearm possession, $150,000 for ammunition possession, and $150,000 for firearm component possession. Fagundes was initially arrested on July 24, 2024, after police officers conducted a search of his Sandy Babb Street residence and uncovered a substantial inventory of firearms and ammunition. The cache included over 26 high-powered rifles and handguns, accompanied by more than 1,600 rounds of ammunition of varying calibers. The items seized reportedly encompassed an array of firearm models, including Sig Sauer, Ruger, FN-45, Smith & Wesson, Beretta, Springfield, Canik, and Glock, each accompanied by corresponding magazines and ammunition. In addition to Fagundes, his mother, 2 sisters, a niece, and a handyman were also detained at the time of the search. Despite opposition from the prosecution, based on the gravity of the offenses and the weight of the evidence, bail was granted. Attorney Durjan argued that Fagundes had been in custody for 3 months without the trial commencing due to delays in the disclosure of pertinent documents and materials. The case will continue as investigations proceed, and trial dates are to be determined. Ministry of Health consultant succumbs to stab wounds following argument. Andre Wilson, 47, a Ministry of Health consultant from Middlewalk, Victoria, East Coast Demerara, has passed away following stab wounds sustained during an altercation on October 24. The incident took place around 5 p.m. at Victoria South, East Coast Demerara. According to a police report, Wilson, also known as Poochie, was allegedly involved in a verbal dispute with a local taxi driver, during which Wilson reportedly referred to the suspect by an incorrect name. The argument escalated, resulting in Wilson being fatally stabbed. Wilson succumbed to his injuries on Monday, October 28, despite receiving medical attention. Police confirmed that the suspect is currently in custody and is expected to face formal charges in connection with Wilson's death. Investigations remain ongoing, and further details will be disclosed as they become available. The Ministry of Health and the broader community express their condolences to Wilson's family and colleagues during this difficult time. Police pursue second suspect in Port Mourant market robbery. All stolen items recovered. Law enforcement authorities are actively searching for a second suspect involved in the attempted armed robbery at a jewelry stall in Port Mourant Market on Saturday morning. During the confrontation, one suspect, 18-year-old Parman Pertab, also known as Mikey, succumbed to injuries sustained at the scene, while his accomplice remains at large. The incident unfolded at approximately 9:15 a.m. at the jewelry stall of businessman Daniel Das, 31, who was present with an assistant. Pertab, wielding a cutlass, attacked Das's assistant, while the second suspect, armed with a handgun, ordered Das and the assistant to lie down. The suspects gathered silver and gold jewelry into a blue string bag and attempted to flee the area. Das promptly raised an alarm, which attracted nearby patrons who tried to intervene. In response, the armed accomplice fired 3 shots, injuring a bystander, identified as Mark Lovell, in the leg. Lovell later sought medical attention but discharged himself from the hospital after receiving treatment. In the meantime, market patrons managed to detain Pertab, retrieving the cutlass and recovering the stolen jewelry, which was promptly returned to Das. Police have confirmed that all stolen items have been accounted for. Pertab sustained multiple injuries during the confrontation and was transported to the Port Mourant Public Hospital, where he later succumbed to his wounds. Police examined Pertab's body and documented injuries to his right hand and upper back. His body has been transferred to Ramu Funeral Home for a post-mortem examination. Police efforts to locate the second suspect remain ongoing, with an active investigation to apprehend the individual and bring closure to the case. Updates will be provided as new information becomes available. $20 million Courtyard by Marriott Hotel to open near CJIA in March 2025. Construction of the Courtyard by Marriott International Hotel at Timeri, Guyana's first major airport hotel, is on track for completion by March 2025. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali inspected the site on Monday, expressing satisfaction with the project's progress, which is led by Cardinal Investments Inc. Located just 1 minute from Chedi Jugan International Airport, CJIA, The six-story hotel will accommodate 150 rooms, including 5 executive suites, serving airline crew, diplomats, business professionals, and travelers. The hotel incorporates green initiatives, including solar panels to provide heated water, in line with Guyana's push for renewable energy. This installation is expected to increase the hotel's energy efficiency and sustainability, project manager Jonathan Mohol explained. Additionally, the hotel has expanded its water storage capacity to 20,000 gallons. The project has overcome challenges related to delayed shipments from China but remains on schedule. Supported by Republic Bank-led syndicated financing, construction is managed by Basu Building and Civil Engineering Contractors, with assistance from Chinese firm Qing Jian Group Company, CNQC. Ahead of the grand opening, Marriott International is leading a 6-month hospitality training program to prepare the management team. The hotel is projected to create over 200 jobs, supporting the government's tourism and hospitality workforce development. This will be further bolstered by the upcoming Hospitality and Tourism Training Institute at Port Mourant, Berbice. President Ali was joined by senior government and law enforcement officials on the inspection tour. The Courtyard by Marriott is anticipated to enhance Guyana's hospitality infrastructure significantly and contribute to economic growth by attracting international and business travelers. Chainsaw operator fatally stabbed in Mashabo housing scheme over debt. A 26-year-old man, Rayandra Abrams, known as Bruce, was tragically stabbed and killed this afternoon during an altercation with a fellow villager over a $15,000 debt. Abrams, a chainsaw operator from Mashabo housing scheme, reportedly borrowed the sum from the suspect a month prior. The incident unfolded along Mashabo Access Road, where an eyewitness observed an escalating argument between Abrams and the suspect. According to the witness, the suspect was brandishing a knife and verbally threatened to harm Abrams. The witness briefly intervened, urging Abrams to leave and return home. However, Abrams reportedly chose to remain. Shortly after the witness left the scene, screams were heard, and the witness turned back to see Abrams clutching his neck and bleeding heavily. The suspect fled the scene on a motorbike, and Abrams succumbed to his injuries at the location. Local law enforcement is actively searching for the suspect. PPPC General Secretary Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo criticizes opposition campaign strategies ahead of 2025 general and regional elections. Newsroom: as preparations intensify for the 2025 general and regional elections in Guyana, the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, PPPC, and Vice President Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo has expressed significant concerns regarding the campaign strategies of the main opposition parties. At a recent press conference, Dr. Jagdeo claimed that the opposition is facing challenges in growing its support base, a struggle he attributes to their alliances with divisive social media figures. Dr. Jagdeo specifically referenced figures such as Rickford Burke, Mark Ben Shop, and Sherrod Duncan, describing them as lunatic poster boys who, he asserted, contribute to a new low in political discourse. He noted that these figures are known for their divisive rhetoric, which he believes detracts from the integrity of Guyana's political landscape. The PPPC General Secretary underscored that Alliance for Change, AFC leader Nigel Hughes, has reportedly engaged Burke, who is currently wanted by local authorities for alleged extortion, in efforts to bolster his public image. According to Dr. Jagdeo, these associations have not translated into increased support for Hughes or the AFC. He also noted that Hughes's campaigning on issues like improving sanitation in the hinterland has not gained significant traction with the public. Likewise, Dr. Jagdeo contended that a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, and its leader, Aubrey Norton, have also aligned with divisive personalities in attempts to rally support. Dr. Jagdeo described these alliances as reflective of an opposition campaign struggling to secure broad appeal among the electorate. In his remarks, Dr. Jagdeo reaffirmed the PPPC's commitment to maintaining a high standard of public discourse and to pursuing a positive, solutions-driven approach to the upcoming elections. The General Secretary expressed confidence that the PPPC's vision and platform will continue to resonate with the people of Guyana. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony urges Guyanese to prioritize cancer screening and early detection. The One Communications Make Your Move Cancer Awareness Walk took to the streets of Georgetown this Sunday, attracting thousands of participants and spotlighting the importance of early cancer detection. During the event, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony called on Guyanese to take proactive steps in the fight against cancer by getting screened regularly, noting that early detection saves lives. Dr. Anthony commended One Communications for its sustained efforts in raising cancer awareness and noted the increased public participation in Pinktober activities. While we're grateful for the awareness efforts, it is essential for people to go beyond participation and take action. We encourage everyone here today to prioritize their health by getting screened, he emphasized. The health minister outlined the government's commitment to decentralizing cancer-related healthcare services, which includes the installation of 4 additional mammogram machines by year's end at hospitals in Linden, New Amsterdam, Sutty, and Lethem. This expansion of resources ensures greater access to early breast cancer screening for Guyanese, helping us save lives by making detection easier and more widespread, Dr. Anthony said. Minister Anthony also highlighted the concerning rise in breast cancer cases, which increased from 123 cases in 2020 to 186 cases in 2022, and emphasized the importance of early detection through screenings. While breast cancer awareness was a primary focus of the walk, Dr. Anthony reminded parents to vaccinate their children aged 9 to 15 with the HPV vaccine to prevent cervical cancer. He also urged men to take advantage of PSA testing for prostate cancer, emphasizing the need for comprehensive cancer screening across genders. The Ministry of Health remains committed to expanding healthcare services to help prevent, detect, and treat cancer across Guyana. Government to launch Prospectus for safari-style zoo development in Guyana. The government of Guyana has announced plans to issue a prospectus inviting private investors to establish a safari-type zoo experience, aimed at enhancing the country's tourism potential by showcasing Guyana's wildlife in naturalistic settings. Vice President Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo disclosed this initiative at a recent public consultation on the restoration of the National Zoo and Botanical Gardens. The proposed safari-style model will allow visitors to drive through expansive enclosures, where animals can roam freely in settings that replicate their natural habitats. We believe that this unique safari-type zoo concept will provide a thrilling experience for visitors while allowing them to see animals in open, natural environments, said Vice President Jagdeo. For many in the region, this would be a first-time experience and a significant tourism draw to Guyana. In addition to the safari-style venture, the government has committed to restoring the National Zoological Park and Botanical Gardens, with a focus on conservation and education. Unlike traditional zoos, the national park aims to raise awareness of Guyana's diverse ecosystems and biodiversity conservation. The transformation aligns with Guyana's low-carbon development strategy, LCDS 2030, which prioritizes biodiversity protection, climate adaptation, and sustainable water management. These upgrades are not solely for exhibitions but to provide an educational, interactive experience, added Dr. Jagdeo. We want visitors to learn about the country's diverse landscapes and the environmental challenges we face. The prospectus for the safari-style zoo will outline support for private investors interested in developing this initiative, creating an added dimension for wildlife tourism in Guyana.